Ah, welcome to the fire. Sometimes evil does prevail, so you better make sure that evil is on your side. Like in this story. How a chaotic evil character saved a kingdom and an empire. R/D&D stories posted by Lopside2313. Okay, so I joined a D&D group of 5 lawful good characters about 4 sessions in to what turned into a 2-year-long campaign. The group was made up of players who have been playing together for about 3 years at this point, and they wanted to add someone new. Enter me, the cast. Francisco, the Goliath monk, Gretchen Buckstable, our Minotaur Ranger, Abigail, our Aasimar Paladin, Trunkbeard, the Tall, a 6-foot tall Hildorf who was a fighter, and Louise Von Pounce, our half-elf bard. Enter my character, who only went by Fang, or Deathbringer, a Lokatha arcane trickster rogue. My character was kept a mystery to everyone except 2 people who knew what I was doing in full. The DM and the paladin, who was really into roleplay and killed anything evil on sight. This was done so he doesn't just kill me on sight. When in-game he finds out I'm evil, the whole group didn't know I was going to be playing this way, so it wasn't total surprises. So my character was just a psychopath who loved only 2 things, murder and chaos, but got locked up by the big ultimate bad of the campaign because he was too crazy even for him to handle. As revenge, my character vowed to make his goals as hard to complete as possible. So when my character was found by the group, he was deep underground in a prison made just for him, with no real security other than some basic guards and a single long narrow passage with tons of dart traps. The group releases me from my bindings, where I proceeded to try and kill Louis Von Pounce because he wanted to, but was too weak to even draw a weapon due to being deprived of food for days. My character is then properly introduced to the group in a maniacal laugh, talking about how he was locked away by the big bad who was introduced day 1 of the campaign with the knowledge of he's the endgame boss and he is just the worst person alive, and my character wants to make his life as hard as possible and doesn't care what he has to do to make that happen, and the group decides to let me join. This setup let me act alongside the group and be good or lawful, but also allowed me to just be a madman whenever I felt like and show the party I'm not good, I just hate the big bad more. My character's lack of morals meant we could have more connections through the campaign, and they can leave all the less nice stuff to me while I left them to help others. Here's where my character's lack of morals opened up the quest to save the kingdom and the greater empire when my character, on one of his many murders for fun, killed the king's mistress, which made the queen mad when she found out about her husband's lack of loyalty, and she wanted to kill him. So the group wanted nothing to do with it, but my character didn't care and said, "Great, more death for me." Then in-game, Anne started to ask for details on why she wanted him dead, not for the reason to do it, but out of morbid curiosity. And the queen started to explain, but as the group heard the queen speak, they slowly learned the king wasn't the benevolent king they were led to believe. The queen mentioned many things the king had been doing behind their backs without their knowledge that my character seemed to get blamed for, even when the party knew he did nothing. because he would just tell everyone what he did with a gleeful smile, but hated taking credit for others what he considered good work. The party, after hearing all this and confirming it true by telling the king and his head of state to a brutal murder he committed, where the DM said it was so graphic that the only thing the party could do was vomit, except me, of course. Fang just watched the events like a child would watch his favorite show, and decided to kill the king, but couldn't do anything because of their oath to the king. So I had a plan. Let me do it. Turns out the queen was actually the heir to the royal family, and she wanted to regain control from her evil husband. They started to realize that if I was not in the party, they would have given the king total control over the empire and doomed everyone. This would not have happened if my character wasn't an evil SOB and murdered his mistress for fun. Best part of this was going to be part of the campaign's midsection, and by my inclusion into the party, we turned what the DM originally planned to be a very easy encounter into a nail-biting high-risk encounter, which nearly killed 3 of the 6 of us. Best fight up to that point. We would not face a fight that hard again till we fought 3 adult dragons at once a year later. This was not my fault, by the way. It was Trunkbeard being too loud and complaining that Francisco was taking his glory from him, and he was wasting his time trying to get glory for things he did not do, which ended up shaming him. At the end, the party was rewarded with whatever they wanted, but me, I wasn't allowed to kill the royal cook, cause I didn't like his quiche. So while everyone asked for the same thing, a place to rest whenever they would need to in her kingdom, I, being, evil and not being allowed to kill more, decided for my reward I wanted to have my way with the royal princess who had just come of age whenever I wanted. I even decided to be nice for once and get the princess's consent for this deal. She agreed, and for the rest of the campaign, whenever we were in town, I would do it with the princess. Eventually, she became pregnant with my child, and I became the next king, with her as queen, which I loved all the authority to do whatever I wanted with no repercussions as long as I kept myself from going too murder crazy, which ended up working great in the final battle, where being the king at this point, I could literally gather an army to the site, making the hordes of monsters way easier to deal with, and we were never low on funds with the royal treasury at our fingers. So yeah, long story short, if you join a group of lawful good characters, try making a chaotic evil character to join them. You never know what might happen. You might die by their hands quick, or make the game way more interesting. And for those who were wondering, no, my character never changed his ways, but he did not kill his wife or his 3 children. He just killed the prisoners, sentenced to death himself, to satisfy his craving for death. Well, that was certainly an interesting story. So they de-seated an evil king, and the evil character became the new evil king. I do wonder how the rest of the group felt about how things turned out. Well, anyway, at the end of the day, the players must find a way to work together, and it seemed that this group have found a way. And that's our story. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more future content. Also, if you would kindly follow the socials posted in the description, that would be amazing. as always, be good, be great, be awesome.